I chose this vase to be my vase today, partially due to the fact that my flowers are kind of short. So this vase is maybe 10 inches tall, which means my total arrangement is going to be around 30 inches tall. Give or take, depending on the flowers and foliage I was able to choose. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to fill this thing stuffed full with your fillers. And what fillers are your leaves, basically. So anything that's going to fill the vase with leaf structure, with some kind of a structure. So you're going to do that first. You're going to fill them up with your leaves first. Now before you do that, the bottom of your stems need to be completely bare. No flowers or no leaves, because they will just rot and make your water icky and you'll have to change it more often. Yes, I said more often, and that's because you have to change your water every 2 to 3 days regardless, in order for you to keep your flowers looking fresh longer. This gives you an opportunity to go through your arrangement and pick out anything that is kind of looking funky. And then sometimes that means the flower arrangement gets changed a little bit and you get to continue your creativity. The next thing you're going to do is, even though these stems have been cut and put immediately in water from the garden, right now before I put them in their fresh water, I'm going to give them a quick snip on the bottom at a 45-degree angle and then immediately put them into water. So I'm going to do that and be right back. Okay, so I've got my fillers all put into my vase. It is not quite twice the height. If I could get this guy to stand up, we would be ideal. So these are the fillers. And I like to use movie analogy with my floral arrangements. So to me, the filler is the extras. The people walking around in the background kind of telling you what's going on. You're in a park. You're in New York City on the sidewalk. This kind of gives you some background ideas of what's going on. Then we have our supporting actors. So our supporting actors are going to be the next flower that you're going to have quite a few of, typically. Again, you don't want any leaves on the bottom. This is very leafless. It doesn't need to be this leafless. It's just in the water, you don't want to have any leaves. And again, we're going to cut it at an angle and stick it in there. See how this is really short? So this flower arrangement is most likely going to be one-sided because I've got a lot of little short guys that I had to cut back this morning. So I'm going to do that and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've got my fillers all put into my vase. It is not quite twice the height. If I could get this guy to stand up, we would be ideal. So these are the fillers. And I like to use movie analogy with my floral arrangements. So to me, the filler is the extras. The people walking around in the background kind of telling you what's going on. You're in a park. You're in New York City on the sidewalk. This kind of gives you some background ideas of what's going on. Then we have our supporting actors. So our supporting actors are going to be the next flower that you're going to have quite a few of, typically. Again, you don't want any leaves on the bottom. This is very leafless. It doesn't need to be this leafless. It's just in the water, you don't want to have any leaves. And again, we're going to cut it at an angle and stick it in there. See how this is really short? So this flower arrangement is most likely going to be one-sided because I've got a lot of little short guys that I had to cut back this morning. So I'm going to do that and show you what it looks like. We've got yellow and purple dahlias as the supporting actors. And it's getting good and full. I wanted to show you a couple of things. So, like I said, you want the bare stems on the bottom so they don't get wrecked, or they don't wreck your water. So that's key. It's okay if you have somebody like this, if you want this extra stem to get it a little bit taller, that's perfectly fine. You could leave these leaves on there. Those are okay. I will say, like, this one has some slug damage. Not pretty. Go ahead and snip that off of there. You don't want to show that off too much. And besides, anything that is already damaged, it's no longer living, and it's gonna die that much faster. So may as well just take it off right now. And then you know, put it in there. It's perfectly ready to go. And it gives you even a little bit more filler with a few more leaves on there. Now it's time for your rising stars. So here are a couple more dahlias. This afternoon I cut back almost all my dahlias because I am in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm about to hit some really cold weather and a lot of rain. And rain will just ruin my dahlias something fierce and fast. So I wanted to enjoy these for as long as I could. So I went out there and picked them and decided, well, I better make this video while I have some fresh flowers to show off. So now I've got my rising stars in here, mostly front and center. And what I generally like to do is have one or two big guest stars. So this is my Jenna Dahlia that I just love. She's got so much color, but her stalks tend to be really short, and so she doesn't always get to be this one's not quite open, but it will open in the water. She doesn't always get to be the rising star, or the big star, because she's always tucked down low. And then I just have one of this color. And it just bloomed yesterday, so that's kind of fun. And so I will put this one right in the front so I can admire her for as long as I can. And then, because I don't have any big stars, this one's trying to be a star, and she's not. Okay. I could just leave it like this, and it would just be fun. I can add this hydrangea piece in here and just give it a little extra something, which I really do enjoy. A little extra something. So this is, you know, pretty good. It's pretty good. I haven't been paying super close. That was not inside there, so inside of the vase. Make sure your stems are inside the vase. That will keep the plants alive. Okay. Then the last thing I will often do is what I call add some jewelry. And there have been times I literally add jewelry, like a princess crown or something super fun like that. But these are some Stilby stalks that dried on the plant. And it's just gonna give it a little extra height. That was too much height. And it's just gonna give it a little extra something, which I enjoy doing. So here is some Stilby here. again, too much height. Okay. And let's pull this like this. Ah. Okay. So, there we go. Just a little fun. You could tell this is the back. I do like to give it a little something here and there, but it's definitely the back. And then this is the front. And it can be viewed from the side nicely and obviously from the front. So I just wanted to do a real quick recap on your tips for today in flower arranging. And the first one is choose your vase and your flowers and foliage according to first your aesthetics and what makes you happy. And then according to, if you have the flowers first, then you'll have to choose your vase according to those. If you have your vase, then you need to choose your flowers according to your vase. And remember that it needs to be in thirds. So your vase always represents the bottom 1/3 of your arrangement. After that, your flowers and foliage need to be 2/3 the height of the arrangement. So the next tip that I want you to try to remember is always cut your stems, flowers and foliage at a 45-degree angle, again, right before you put it in fresh water in your vase when you're making your arrangement. And never leave any kind of leaf or flower below the water line because your water's going to get icky and you'll have to change your water more often. Which leads me to tip number 3. And that is change your water very often. At least every other day. Every other day is ideal. At least every 3rd day. And you will be able to obtain a fresh arrangement longer. I have kept arrangements, I think the longest arrangement that I was able to keep was 6 weeks. And yes, it kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller because, you know, some flowers just don't last as long. But it was pretty awesome to keep an arrangement going that long. And I can typically keep an arrangement going for 10 to 12 days easy by changing my water regularly. And then the very last tip that I wanted to remind you on is to do your fillers first, because that's going to really make your arrangement look full and super spectacular. So I can't wait to see everybody's flower arrangements. I hope you post pictures and tag me. Either post them on your own Facebook or Instagram and tag me, or you can post it in the comments on YouTube where you're going to find this video, or you can even follow me on Facebook at Garden Solutions and post your pictures in there. And I cannot wait to see them because it gives me inspiration, and I just love seeing what flowers you come up with and what's growing in your area, and just, you know, how your creative eye works. I love seeing that, watching that passion come through. So make sure you tag me, make sure you post pictures, and let's just have fun with it. Happy fall, and sparkle on until next time. Bye!